Hello everyone. Today we'll be going to the another software methodology, which is Agile, and this is mostly used nowadays in everywhere or every company you go. This is the method which is followed, and we'll see in few minutes why it is followed. So Agile is basically deliver your projects in increments. So instead of all at once, as discussed in the previous lecture, which is waterfall model. Okay, now we can see like the same phases exist in the software development lifecycle, but it's like every phase is dependent on the other phase, and all of this them is in a cycle. So once we have the requirement analysis. So this is dependent. Design phase is dependent on requirement. Coding is again on design. So all of them are interrelated, and whenever a new change is introduced, or when we want to make a small change, it can be done easily. We just need to feed in here and it will flow through the whole cycle. So it's not like water cycle where we have fixed or rigid projects, and we know the end state and we know the start state, and we just need to work and complete that. So this model is basically helpful for complex or large projects where every team can contribute slowly, and we can make the changes as and when required. And even when your end product or the particular project is not, you don't have a clear idea and all, so you can keep on moving in the iteration. So what is iteration? Iteration is like moving from requirement phase, going through all these things and coming back to the requirement phase again. So that is called one iteration. So Agile Manifesto was actually created during a meeting called Snowboard Summit. So basically, it was developed to accommodate all the shortcomings of the waterfall model in software. So individual and what it does is like it focuses more on the individual and interactions instead of the process and tools. So more and more teams and people will interact with each other and try to solve the problem and understand it in a better way, instead of having more and more process and tools to solve it. Then this is like creating a working software with proper documentation and all. So you will deliver the software in phases. So suppose you have to uh, create a project in 10 weeks. So you will divide all those into small parts, that is maybe from 1 to 10, and we will agree with the client, like we will be developing this incrementally. So suppose we have developed the phase 1, so then again we'll check with the client whether it is as per their expectations or it needs changes or not. If it is, that is, we will gather the feedback once everything is done. So if it is okay, then we'll move to phase 2. So similarly, in every phase we'll get the feedback from the client and everyone. It's not only the client, but every member or every individual will get the feedback for the product which is being created. So here customer collaboration is more and more, and contract negotiation can happen easily, and it responds to changes very quickly. So suppose we, in the first phase, you have defined the requirement and we have done the design, coding, testing, and maintenance. And then once this first uh, phase is done, we'll check with again the particular client or maybe product owner whether this is going correctly and this is working well. If it goes okay, if not, then we'll make the changes again and it will go through the same cycle again. So now what happens here is like in Agile also we have two models. One is Scrum and the other is Kanban. So this is Kanban and this is Scrum. Two models are there which we can follow. I'll come to that one by one. So first one is Scrum. So what happens here is like we have a lot of rules defined, like there may be a product owner, so who is responsible for providing all the requirements and helping to document everything in the backlog. So backlog is the place where we divide all the project into small modules and small projects, you can say sub projects, and then in the sub projects we move one by one to story. So story is basically, you can say, out of the 10 things we'll pick one thing and it becomes a story, which the whole team needs to work to complete the story. Then again, the story is divided into several other tickets depending on the teams, and then it is assigned to do task where, like, it may be assigned to the development team, it may be assigned to QA team, it may be assigned to uh, DevOps team or various other teams. So in this similar fashion, like once they have the sprint meeting is a meeting where they decide like what all tickets they can pick up from the backlog to story, and from story to do for the particular sprint. So sprint is nothing but just a cycle, maybe number of days or weeks they spent on completing the particular task, small task for the story. Again, it has also like to do phase, doing and done. So it gives more and more clarity, like where the team or which member is doing what, and where is the ticket in progress. So it gives a clear picture of what is being developed, how much is the progress of the project, and every other thing is very clear, because uh, all the things are divided into small backlog items, and from the backlog we take one story which is of higher priority, which is decided by product owner, and then again the whole process has been then managed by a scrum master, which is who is running all the process here, as well as like engaging all of them, all the developers and various other teams, and uh, letting them know what their tasks are, what is expected uh, from the particular application or the project. So then various teams are assigned all the tasks here in the to do, and from there to do they will be picking up the tickets, and once they'll update the progress. So doing is just like the progress. If they have some progress, they'll just move the state to here, and once it is done, they'll move the state to done. So all those things are used in various tools. So some of the tools, known tools are Notion or Jira if you have worked. So most of the MNCs use Jira, but nowadays there are a lot of other products just like Notion, which is doing the same thing. So this is the way it works for Scrum. Now let's move to the other part. So Kanban. So Kanban is another methodology which is used in Agile. So it is more of a visual workflow actually. So you can visualize everything what is being done here, and what we do is like we just simply create a backlog, and then it will be like the particular task will be moving to move to progress, then validate and complete. So it's very simple, and it is more visually appealing, and it limits number of tasks which like people can take, so that whatever is done, it's done efficiently, and the flow is managed properly. So it helps to improve the continuity of the process. So let's go through basically the differences between the Scrum and Kanban. So Scrum was developed for the software development, and Kanban was developed, if I remember correctly, in Japan for some lean manufacturing process in the factories. So that whatever they are developing, it should be of good quality, and it should be optimized. So that was the uh, perspective for which Kanban was invented. Then the ideology of Scrum is like to solve the most complex problems or most complex projects into uh, different smaller ones, and then deliver it as a value product. Whereas Kanban is like to more of the visualization of the improvement of the flows and processes. So where or what the process is going on, how much is the progress and all, it can be visualized easily. Now, what are the practices in Scrum? We have already seen like sprint planning. So sprint planning is the place where we divide the whole project into small phases, and then with each phase is run by the sprint. So sprint basically can be of 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Again, it depends on the Scrum Master as well as the project what they decide. And then there is a daily Scrum. So daily Scrum is just like the stand-up meeting. Where which is being held between different teams, where each team member updates what he'll be doing today, what he has done yesterday, and what is the progress or any issues he is facing, and also those things can be discussed there, any blockers and all. So Scrum Master will note down all those things, and he's running actually the sprint planning, and he will try to clear all the blockers and collaborate with whatever is needed for the particular team or person to uh, help more and more to fix all the tasks or move ahead with the ticket. Then is the sprint review. So once all the tickets and all are done, and within like suppose we consider like within 2 weeks is the sprint time. So uh, after that they will do the sprint review. So sprint review is done by Scrum Master, and we'll see like what is the progress of the uh, backlogs, task, whatever was taken, how much is completed, what is left, and why it is left, what is pending. So all those things are reviewed there. Once the sprint is completed, so suppose sprint one is of 2 weeks and it is completed. Usually there is a sprint retrospective. So usually people go for retro tea or some other place just to discuss what went well in the sprint, what was the good thing, what was the bad thing. So no one is pointed here. So it is basically uh, uh, a blank dashboard which is shared online with others. And it is anonymous, so we can mention there like what has went well in in this sprint, what needs to be improved, or what has went what did went well. So all those things are discussed there. Then again, similarly, it will be the next time it will be a new sprint meeting. We'll pull something from the backlog, or the more important task will be taken care in the particular sprint, and then it will be like again assigning the different teams the task and all the scrum meeting, daily scrum, etc. So this will go on and on until the project is completed. Now the practices of Kanban are like just to visualize the workflow, and here the major focus is to limit only the work which can be done within by each individual or a team, so that they can focus more and more on the task and try to complete it as soon as possible. So here it is more about visualization and flow, and implementing the feedback loop and improving the uh, process and flows. Now, how about the roles? So roles are defined in the Scrum. There will be a product owner, Scrum Master, development team, QA team, various other teams will be there. Each team plays their own role. So in Kanban, there is no one playing a role and formal role, and anyone can take up the particular role and complete the objective. Now, in how to measure the Scrum is like it is measured in velocity. So where we see like in sprints how many tickets we are uh, fixing, or what is the progress of the uh, project, we can see with the help of sprints with the burn down charts and all other things you can see with the Jira. Then Kanban is like more of cycle time and throughput time. So getting the maximum throughput. Now cycle is like how much time it has taken from when a ticket was in the to do status, and when the ticket came to completed status. And throughput here means like how much how much time a team takes to complete the particular ticket and all those things. So it is measured. Scrum is measured in velocity, whereas Kanban is measured in cycle time and throughput. Now, where is Scrum applicable practically, or Kanban is I mean applicable practically? So Scrum can be more focused to the development task, and more respect to development and QA teams and other teams. And Kanban is mostly you can relate with the DevOps team, because uh, it requires in DevOps team we cannot follow the Scrum properly, because it's not just the tickets where the DevOps team or SRE team or other teams have the focus where they are doing only the development work. So there may be some maintenance issue, there may be some production issue which comes ad hoc, and they need to work and on that. So it disrupts the Scrum activity and the timelines, and also Scrum may not be feasible for DevOps, SRE, and other teams, support teams. Whereas Kanban may be more suitable to those kind of projects where you don't have any surety, like and anything can come ad hoc for production fixes, or other maintenance or other BAU activities. So BAU is business as usual. To maintain the business, there are certain things which are needed by the operation team. So those kind of things can come here. But like you can see in multiple companies. Even they follow the hybrid approach for the DevOps or SI team, where they try to follow both Scrum and Kanban in a hybrid model. So that's it. That's it for the agile part.